So last year, if I remember properly, sometime in July, it was reported at the time that Nigeria had spent 17.42 billion naira to launch two satellites. Yes, construction and launch of that satellite cost us that much. And we also did ask several times on this program that how come we've got nothing to show for it, especially bringing solution to this flawed matter. Nobody's talking about using that equipment to map out the flood path. If they have, we haven't heard. Maybe you can tell us what's going on.
Well, actually, it's very difficult to say that we have nothing to show for that. That quantum of money is not just to acquire the hardware. We have trained over 150 or getting to 200 space engineers. And this is the skills that can move to even improve other things. These guys are specialists in terms of electronics, in terms of very specialist hardware, in terms of software, and when you go to the space agency and also the Nigerian communication satellite, you will see it. Secondly, because of that infrastructure, right now as we speak, the agency is actually mapping, providing new maps for Nigeria. This, if we were to actually pay another country that have got this capability to produce recent maps for planning, for physical infrastructure planning and so on and so forth, it would have probably costed us more than what we have used to launch the satellites. We have the capability now, not just the maps. Three, we are part of the global environmental constellation or collection of countries that is looking at the world, because the space is not just a country. When the space is up there, we are seeing Ghana, we are seeing the British and everywhere. In fact, the Nigerian satellite, the pictures from Nigerian satellite were the first pictures seen of the tsunami that actually happened in Asia. And we are part of that constellation of knowledge that is provided to the world, including our country, to ensure that we curb these kind of things.
So why did they deploy it in this matter?
You see, this is a natural disaster. There is no way you can say that I have got a technology to limit earthquake.
No, but if we were monitoring,
yes,
they should have seen some unusual symptoms or scenarios to suggest that perhaps something is amiss.
It's true, you are right. But I mean, this is the next level. These people, there were some early warnings, but it is not as long as it should be. You get what I mean? And secondly, remember, particularly from the River Benue side, the flooding is as a result of water that has been let go from Cameroon. They have a dam on that river that has actually caused part of the River Benue literally to dry in Nigeria. Now the water is too much. If they keep the gates of the dam closed, the dam would have been swept off.
Pardon me to button. That's why I did ask if it won't be fair to say that the government has failed, because this is not the first time that dam water has been let out from the dam. And then you have NIMET who comes up with a prediction saying, listen, till November you might have some unusual rainfall pattern. And so people have thought that perhaps the ministry will key into all of this and go in and actually be proactive and not being reactive.
Well, this is again the art of development. I cannot speak for NIMET. I cannot speak for. All I know is that as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is on track to ensure that it prepares not only for floods, not only for agriculture, not only for health, but to ensure that we are constantly and dynamically building the infrastructure for technological development, building the skills and capacities for moving our country to the next level. Yes, this has happened, and we are learning from it. Just like you're saying, we should now learn on how to predict longer. We should now learn from this and ensure that we have got strategies that can actually sell to ensure that it does not happen. If we're talking like this again next year or in the next 2 years, then it is going to really be unfortunate. In fact, in NOTAP, after this has happened, we realized that there is a necessity to now call for an international dialogue in Nigeria to look at why do we have floods at this time in our development.
But we have to do our homework first to find out if it was man-made. Because people ask, all those dams that were being constructed, where do they have what's that plan that they have to you have to do some sort of
surveys and feasibility
impact assessments before
yeah.
you come up with those plans. People are asking, was that done? So we haven't answered those internal questions first, so we have to answer them before we call for the international.
You are right, but you see, the implication for technology, all this, for you to be able to answer things, you must have capacity, you must have capability. You cannot just estimate things.
We don't have capacity.
Of course, this is what I've been telling you that we're building.
But our pictures were the first that we're seeing about the tsunami in Asia. That's what you said.
Yes.
And yet we don't have capacity.
Well, 10 years ago, Nigeria was not talking about space technology at all. You get what I mean? But now we're talking about space technology.
Okay.
Of course.
A warning letter was written on August 23rd, according to the Deputy High Commissioner of Cameroon to Nigeria. He said that letter was dated August 23rd and it was stamped. And it was sent to Nigeria about the dam waters that will be released from the Lagdo Dam. What did we do when we got that warning? You say it was too short? As
far as I am concerned, either NOTAP or Ministry of Science and Technology does not talk letters to Ministries of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
I am talking about
the question I should have asked is, when that letter was released, did we in any way, with the satellites we now have, did we in any way notice, Chamberlain asked the question, did we notice these waters moving?
As far as I am concerned, as Dr. Bindir, Director General of NOTAP, I cannot answer that in specific terms. Why?
But because do we have the equipment to have noticed the water moving?
You see, the weather changes is now an interesting area internationally. That is why you have international conferences and dialogue and committees and facilities on global warming, environmental changes. This is a new thing for the whole world. And Nigeria is not away from it, because this water is not just Nigerian water. The water is coming as a result of rain from the sky, but the harvested water in our streams and rivers also move based on slope. Unfortunately, because of River Niger and Benue passing through our own country down to the Niger Delta, we literally, this is an indication that we are on a lower level compared to other countries, and therefore you will harvest this. What I'm trying to say is that recognizing this in the past, that has not become a problem for us. Now the problem is emerging. Nigeria has to take steps to turn strategically this threat into opportunities and strengths. And how do you do that? You can only, and I stress, only do that if you have capacity, capability to think it, to look at it, to listen it, and smell it, and talk it. And this is why you can see all the various levels of national preparation. Establishing a space technology facility is not easy, because people will start, I was in the ministry when this first happened during the Obasanjo era. Even within the cabinet, people were saying that we cannot put rice on our table. Why do we need to go to the moon? It's a complete misnomer. It's like saying, why can't we put rice on our table? Therefore, we don't need universities. Okay. So close them down. So